Hey guys, it is Clay, CPAPmyway, CPAPmyway.com. Today I am here to discuss a cool new product that we are carrying. It is a CPAP cleaner called the PAPClean. It's an ozone generating device, and it's very similar to some of the others that are out there. One we carried for a long time was the Sleep 8. We've been unable to get that one for a while, so we were really looking around trying to find another go-to product. And this one has really been good so far, so we wanted to introduce it to you and go over all of the unpacking, setup, operation, as well as a quick review of the pros and cons that we found in using it around here and our customers so far. So I appreciate it if you'd like the video, thumbs up, and subscribe if you want more content like this. And as you know, the conversation goes on in the comments below, so if you've got any questions or things I missed in here, that happens, I'm more than happy to expand in the comments. So throw a comment in there and I'll be happy to answer. Let's jump right in. All right, so before we jump into the operation, hooking it up, I'm going to demo it on this ResMed Air 10 here and the supplies connected to it. I'm going to just go over what's in the box so that you'll know exactly what you're getting and what it's going to look like setup-wise for you. Obviously, the first thing you're going to have in the box is the device itself, the PAPClean ozone generator. But additionally, you're going to have some things you need to pay attention to. Always, you've got your manual, but who reads those? We watch videos on YouTube. You've got your cleaning bag, okay? You've got this short little tube here, which I'll explain a little more. Then you've got two small adapters, right? These are just hose adapters, and I'll show you what those are for in the demo. Then, of course, you've got your charging brick, which has a standard USB connection. And obviously your charger, which has that standard USB, and then a Type-C, which is what you'll plug into the device. Honestly, on the demo here that I've been using around the office, I've been using my GoPro chargers, which I use for like everything, and it's been charging it just fine, and it's been operating really, really well. All right, so the device itself is really, really small. It's 2.5 inches by 4.5 inches by 1.75 inches, so it doesn't take up much room. Most people are probably going to keep it in their nightstand during the day. The bag, which is probably more relevant to you as you're thinking about what you could put in it, it's going to fit everything you need to fit as far as your CPAP supplies go. But just for your own sake of the dimensions on it here, it's a 16 by 13.5, and obviously it'll expand as you put everything inside of it. It's a zippered pouch, and it's got this little Velcro strap, which I'll explain when we demo it here for you. All the parts and pieces come with a 90-day warranty, and the device itself is a 24-month warranty. One thing I'll point out right off the bat is that this device has no maintenance. There's no filters or anything to change on the device, and the bag is a super long, durable bag, so you don't have to worry about buying extra bags or anything like that. Once you buy this kit, you've got what you need. All right, so let's set this thing up on our AirSense 10 here, and I'm going to show you how this thing works. All right, so we'll pretend we're on the nightstand here, and we've got our AirSense 10. This is a AirFit P10 nasal pillow mask. I'm going to show you on those because that seems to be the nastiest mask that people bring in here. So it is important to clean those, and obviously this will help. The first thing I want to point out in this demo here is that you've got these three little adapters here, right? One is a tube, a short tube. One is an adapter that has a larger end and a smaller end. And then one is an adapter that's pretty much just 22 millimeter female, 22 millimeter male. For most circumstances, you're just going to use this adapter that plugs on and just extends out the connection point. That'll allow you to connect any any standard tube right onto the end. Most of your heated tubes will plug on there just fine. But if you have like a travel CPAP or something like that, you may need the smaller connection if you have like a smaller tube connection. So they do have this as well. We won't be using this in the demo, but it is there in case you have a device that requires a small connection point. If you have a device that or supplies that won't connect to this at all, what you will do is use this tube adapter here, and instead of connecting your own tube, you'll use this and then just lay it in the bag with all your supplies in there, just like I'll show you here in a minute. For the circumstance we have here, we're using a standard slim tube, so we actually don't need an adapter at all. This tube is going to plug right onto the end of the PAPClean here without any issue, and we're going to be able to run the device just fine. So as far as operating it, the first thing I always want to point out when you're using an external ozone device like this is you're going to sterilize the water chamber. So the first thing you need to do is take this water chamber out, go to the sink, and dump the extra water. Do not throw this thing in here with a bunch of water and then slosh it around and have water all over your nightstand. Make sure you dump this out, which you should be doing every morning anyway, and leave the lid cracked. So first thing we're gonna do is crack our lid with an empty water chamber and put it right inside the bag here. The next thing we're gonna do is on the back of your CPAP, you're gonna disconnect your CPAP tube and you are going to connect it to the PAPClean ozone generator. Now, if you have a heated tube or something of that nature, you may end up using the adapter here that'll plug it on. You can use that just fine with standard tubing as well. And then we're going to take our mask and the remainder of our tube, leave it connected, and put it right into the bag. All right, and we're going to leave the PAPClean on the outside of the bag. Once you've got that in there, all you got to do is zip the bag shut, right, just like that with everything inside. It's got a nice zipper, nothing real cheap about that at all. And then this is where your little strap comes in. You're going to strap that tube in just like that so that it doesn't wiggle around or you pull on it and it pull the zipper open and then the ozone get out of the bag. Once you've done that, really the only thing you have to do is just press and hold the button for 5 seconds. You'll hear it beep and this machine is running. In the standard cycle, it's going to go through 30 minutes of cleaning, 5 minutes of air flush, and then a full hour of what they call reverting, where it takes the ozone back to regular oxygen air. It also has a quick cycle if you're just trying to do a real quick clean on it. And you can do that by switching in the mode with the mode button here. You'll hear it beep, and it'll change to a cycle where it will clean for 25 minutes, a 10-minute air flush, and then a 30-minute reverting, so that you can get it done a little bit quicker. It's super quiet. You're not going to hear it running. Some of these other ozone generators are a little bit loud. And it's doing its thing. You can set it and forget it. Come back tonight. Hopefully you set this thing up in the morning. It's just sitting here clean and ready by the time you get back to use your CPAP at night. If you want to stop it along the way, just press and hold the power button until it beeps and it will shut this device down. It is best in most scenarios. It is it's just a wise thing to let it run through the cycle so that it ventilates properly and reverts the ozone properly. So as far as my thoughts on the pros and cons of this particular device, the biggest pro on it is that there's nothing to replace. So unlike a lot of these other ozone generators that have filters or bags or things that need to be swapped out on a regular basis, this thing is good to go for quite some time. Maybe eventually you might tear the bag or a zipper might go bad and you have to replace the bag, but we're talking like way down the road before that's an issue. It's also super easy to use. It does it all by itself. You hook it up, throw everything in there, turn it on, it runs through a cycle, and everything is taken care of. The other real important thing to remember on this particular device is that no ozone is getting into the CPAP. That's been a big issue with the integrated ozone cleaners that actually have like attachments on the CPAP. A lot of that ozone will get back into the CPAP itself, which can cause corrosion and can definitely shorten the lifespan of your CPAP machine. And the final thing I want to point out that's really nice about it is it's portable. As you notice, I didn't even have it connected, which I probably should show you how to do that. But it's running on a lithium-ion battery. I have only charged this thing like one time, and I know I've used it like a solid 6 times since I've actually plugged it in. So it runs probably your entire week's worth of cleaning before you have to plug it in and charge it for the week. As far as the cons go on this particular device, I would say there's nothing that unless you don't like ozone, if you don't like, some people will say they just don't like that smell of ozone after it's cleaned. It's not something I notice, and it's not something I would say 95% of people notice. Some people do, and in those cases you'd want to check out a UV cleaner like the Levility. I'll link that up here for you as well if you want to see a demo of the Levility UV cleaner. That one's a good one if you don't like the ozone. And the only other thing I would point out as an issue with this is that you can't use it with any of the memory foam masks like the AirTouch F20 or AirTouch N20. It will destroy the memory foam on those masks with the ozone, so you don't want to do that. But outside of that, I mean, it's awesome. We've really had some great success with it. We've had 0 warranty returns so far. I've been using it quite a bit here, and I've had no issues with it whatsoever. I throw it on the cleaning table back there, sterilize whatever needs to be cleaned, and it just does it, sitting there clean when I go back to check on it again. So I like the product a lot. I think that you will find it very useful, much like some of the other portable ozone generators we've had in the past, and I hope you do. If you have any questions, concerns, or things I should expand on, please do that in the the comments below. Like it if you enjoyed the information, and subscribe. And oh, let me show you how to charge it. I think that's probably pretty self-explanatory, but to charge it, obviously you've got your USB connector here, right? And then the Type-C connector that plugs right into the side there. Real simple. It takes about 2 to 3 hours to charge. So when you first get it, you fully charge it. And I would keep it from running close to dead when you're doing your supplies, because you wouldn't want it to just go dead in the middle of running a cleaning process. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed the information, and I really appreciate you watching. Thanks.